It's been a while since I was on this channel. Last time I posted 3 months ago. Very long hiatus. Now, I'm going to continue my Iron Maiden discography review. But in the meantime, I went to go see Iron Maiden in Virginia on June the 3rd. And it was amazing. Alright, so first, I'm just going to show you my pickups. Got this Book Souls World Tour book, 2016-2017. And then I got, which is probably one of my most prized possessions now, a Yannick Gers wristband. Look at that. This is so cool. My brother actually caught this for me. It was probably one of the best things ever. It's one of my most prized possessions, next to my drum plate signed by Dave Mustaine. Getting some Megadeth in here. But honestly, this is probably one of the best days of my life, just seeing Iron Maiden, especially because it was in front row. I'll do a concert review on that probably. But front row, last time I was in the way back, like stadium way back. It was where the seats are at, way back, way further in, like around there. But now, full front row. Steve Harris noticed me a couple of times. He also threw a wristband at my brother. We just got lucky that night. It was probably the best ever. So I'm done talking about my love for Maiden. Now, let's talk about my love for Maiden with the 2000s review of the Iron Maiden discography. So, Maiden never released a bunch of albums in the 2000s, but when they did, it was a surprise. Now, I'd say Brave New World is probably one of the best Maiden albums, probably the second best next to Summer in Time, which is my favorite. Brave New World was just a great comeback from what seemed like a band falling down. That's why I named my last episode The Downfall of Iron Maiden, because people were just starting to leave them. Once they got Blaze Bayley, they were like, screw this, we're out. But this is probably the best comeback, and, it's probably the best album. I really like the lyricism is really good here. There's a bunch of underrated songs. In my opinion, I love the thin line between love and hate. I also really like Out of the Silent Planet, which, I don't know, is just one of the best things ever composed by Iron Maiden, in my opinion. I don't know why they don't play it live, though. That'd be the best if they played it live. And just a bunch of songs that are really good. I'd say The Mercenary is kind of weak, but I still really like it. So Brave New World gets an 8.5 out of 10 because it's just a great comeback from what seemed like a band falling down. Now, the next album that Maiden produced was probably for me, it was kind of diverse in a way because they had acoustics in there. And you could say, oh, just because it has acoustics, it's not diverse. Well, for me, it was very different from Maiden, and that's why I really enjoyed this album. But back to my love on Maiden. So, in my opinion, Dance to Death had one of the best epics ever that Maiden composed. Just really good. Songs like Monstiger are awesome. The song that Nico McBrain wrote, New Frontier, I really like that song. And we get to the end, Journeyman, which was probably one of the best tracks Iron Maiden composed. And I know I'm just saying this, but I don't know why people don't really like the 2000s album. I guess I was maybe just born in the wrong generation. I'm going to be one of those guys. But honestly, I just really like all the 2000s albums. They're all good in a way. Probably I'd say my least favorite was A Matter of Life and Death, but we'll get to that. But once again, this album is very diverse. Dance to Death is a great epic. Yannick Gers actually does a pretty good job on this album. I might say so myself. But, yeah, this album is just great. It gets probably a 8.5 again out of 10. Now, we get to A Matter of Life and Death. Now, it's not that A Matter of Life and Death is a bad album. It was just kind of weak in some parts, but still the songs are great. But I'll get into that next. So, A Matter of Life and Death did have probably some of my favorite Maiden epics. I can't lie. But something about that album just didn't really feel right. Maybe the songs, like the common songs, not the epics, were too long and they just felt very repetitive. That's why it's my least favorite album of the 2000s that Maiden did. And this is the last album that they released in the 2000s, 2010's Final Frontier. We'll get to that later. But right now, this is the end of the video. I would rate A Matter of Life and Death about maybe a 6.5 or a 7 out of 10. So, yeah, that was the Maiden 2000s. Not really, exciting like their past eras, like the 90s and the 80s, but we're getting there. 2010's Final Frontier is probably really criticized for just its long songs, but I'll get to that. Book of Souls is the latest album from Iron Maiden, and I also get to that. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and comment. It really means a lot to me, and share my videos. So, yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.